Whenever I sit down to record Prison Architect, I always make a point of zooming out to just look at where I am and to figure out what I want to do next. Because, believe it or not, I do come into a lot of videos with an idea of what I would like to achieve in that video. Now, whether or not I actually do that is another thing entirely. Usually, I don't actually achieve the thing that I set out to do, and that's just sort of how things are. That's kind of my thing. Over the years that I've been working on this channel, I think it's fair to say that I have a lot of intentions. Whether or not those intentions come to fruition is another thing entirely. My point being that I zoomed out of the prison before I hit the record button, and I looked at it and thought, you know, I want more yards. I want more yards. I want more stuff. I want to get away from this like big square that we're slowly going to be filling out. So I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to remove my planning here. And I'm going to remove my planning here as well, because I want to change this up a little bit. And what I'm thinking I want to do is I am going to make it a big square still. That's sort of just going to be how it is. But I think what we do is we make this into a yard. And then I think we go and we say that this is also going to be a yard. Now, are they the same size by any chance? 16 at the bottom and 16 at the bottom. So those are now the same size, which is good. That gives us this space in the middle to play with, which is 16 across and 28 down. So what we could do there is go, say, 10 right here. And we could go 10 right here, and that's going to give us a little space here that is 14 by 10. That's going to give us 14 by 10 and 14 by 10. So we have 3 even spaces. And what I'm thinking I would do with that is maybe yard, canteen, kitchen, canteen. So we're going to introduce a bit more green space to this end of the prison. It's still going to be a big square, but at the very least, it's going to have some open space in the middle of all of that. And I think that's maybe a good thing. I think that's maybe something that's going to benefit us, because it's just going to break up what the prison looks like so far, and that's kind of what I want to do. So 14 by 10 there, 14 by 10 there, and the same down here. So that would give us, you know, the ability to say that this yard has access to this canteen, this yard has access to that canteen, and the staff go through the canteens to, you know, work them. And I like that idea. What I also like the idea of doing is getting another staff room into the prison. And the way I think I'm going to do that is I'm going to take out this shop right here, because I just don't think we need it. I don't think we need the 2 shops. I think we can get away with just 1. So if I go into dismantle object and I say, you know, take out all of this, take out those shop fronts, and then we can go and we can say, give me a nice little section of white wall there. And let's see, give me a bit of white wall right there as well. If I go to doors, I can throw a staff door here. So we still have a little bit of secure access to what is essentially going to be a staff room. And I think having a staff room here, it's a weird place for it. It's right in the middle of, you know, a communal area for prisoners. But at the very least, it's going to be another staff room that means that the guys don't have to cross the entire prison to get to this little one over here. So I think that's going to be for the best. I think this layout is going to be a little bit better. And what I'm going to do, actually, is also go into objects and say that I want to dismantle all of the trees in this space, because that's where the money's going to come from to actually build this. And while that's going on, we need to talk about this gym, because it's kind of been claimed by a gang. And that's a bit of a problem. It also doesn't have the correct flooring underneath the door, so let's fix that. And let's also fix it on this chapel here as well. It doesn't have the correct flooring, which is not exactly ideal. Sorry, not the floor. Why did my mind just go, it doesn't have the correct flooring? That's not ideal. It's been claimed by a gang, which is not ideal. That's the important part of what I was saying. I don't care too much about the flooring. I care about the fact that a gang has claimed this gym. So I don't want them doing that. I don't want them having claimed this. We're going to need to come in and clean this thing up. But the problem is that it is going to upset the gang. So what I'm thinking I might do is I might go ahead and I might do a bang-up order on the prison just so we can push the gang members out of the gym, into their cells, lock them down, and then we go in and clean the gym and get rid of the graffiti. It might cause a riot. The prison is a little dangerous right now, so it might cause a riot. It might. But there's other ways I can deal with that danger level, and that's also something we're going to need to get to. You know, it's interesting that just as I say might cause a riot, my prisoners have decided to start murdering each other, which is not exactly ideal. We have a few dead guards, we have a few dead prisoners, and things there. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. Okay. We should be able to deal with this. Yeah, we have dealt with it. We have a dead armed guard down here. That's not great, but that could have been a lot worse. Let's have a real quick look at staff, and we did lose an armed guard. We did lose 2 guards, and you know what? I'm going to go for 5 more workmen just because I can, and I would really like to, you know, get things going a little bit quicker. We'll just go ahead and prioritize sort of clearing all of this space as quickly as we can. Now, obviously my prisoners aren't happy. I've been having a bit of a look, though, into their needs, and I've been reading the descriptions. For example, everyone needs to use the toilet, even prisoners. Don't forget that most parts of your prison regime are quite strict. They can't use the toilet in their cell if they're supposed to be in the shower room, for example. So what I'm thinking we do is we go to the regime and we change it up a little bit. I want to give them more free time, because what I'm realizing is that during this time here, my prisoners are mostly going to be working. There's a lot of them working, so they don't get to go to the toilet. During yard time, they don't get to go to the toilet. During canteen time, no toilet. Shower time, no toilet. So they only get one time during the day where every single prisoner at 10 p.m. is able to go to the toilet. So what I think I want to do is I want to change up shower time to be free time. I want to change eat time to be shower time. And then I want to change yard time to eat time. And I'm going to introduce an extra bit of free time right there so they can do more things. So that way, and I think what I'm even going to do is replace yard time with free time there as well. So that way, there's no mandated yard time for anybody, but they can at least go and just do other things. Now, of course, that means we need to change my deployment a little bit. So at 10 p.m., it's free time. At 6 p.m., it's also free time. At 7 a.m., it's also free time. And then shower time is 9 p.m., so that's going to be right there now at 8. And then 3, let's see, eat time is 7, 8, so that's going to be 3 right there. So that should, I believe, be the change that we need to make right there. Now, that does mean that during free time, there's only going to be 1 guard and a couple assigned to the yard, which I'm not necessarily loving. So what I'm going to do is say that during free time, let's go ahead and assign another guard there. But I also want to assign some armed guards to, I'm thinking, these patrols as well, because we're going to have a lot of people over in this area. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see if that cheers them up a little bit, because they're going to have more time to go to the toilet. They're going to have more time to chill. And we can also hopefully address this issue with hygiene by maybe going and getting more janitors. Let's go from 4 all the way up to 15 janitors, because reading this, most prisoners will want to wash regularly, especially in the mornings after they wake up. The shower regime will force prisoners who don't have their own personal shower to go to the nearest shower room. If this is becoming a problem, consider expanding your shower facilities or adding more free time. That's not what I was looking for at all. I was looking for clothing. I was looking for the clothing one. Prisoners are going to want clean clothes from time to time, even if it's just the same colored jumpsuit. Adding a laundry and either hiring janitors or putting prisoners to work in it will help make this dream a reality. Essentially, we have a lot of prisoners who are concerned about it and a lot of prisoners that desperately want this need fulfilled. So hopefully the extra janitors will help us deal with that. And if I go to logistics as well and I go to laundry, we can just double check that we do in fact have, and we absolutely do have, a lot of this stuff being dealt with by laundry. Although looking at it, do I have to assign every single cell in here to this this laundry thing? It looks like I kind of do, which is a bit of a concern. So we'll go ahead and assign essentially all of these cells here to the larger laundry room. And that means this little one is now just dealing with the reception. So we'll see if that works. I'm not 100% sure that it will, but we'll certainly find out. Either way, I'm hoping the new regime gets them to calm down a little bit. The free time in the evenings is a little scary, to say the least, because it does mean that we're going to have people going to the gyms at night, going to the yards at night, you know, going kind of wherever they want at night, but then it immediately switches over to sleep time. So my hope is that most of them, even if it's not all of them, will at least go to sleep. I guess we'll find out. Now, we have a bit of money. I managed to sell all of the trees down here, so let's start building this new thing. And let's see if it's any good. Because what I think I want to do is simply this, and then this. We're going to have the yards on either side, and that's actually not that expensive. I kind of wonder if I could build both sides at once. I kind of feel like I might be able to, and I absolutely can. So essentially, we'll go ahead and prioritize all of that. And what I can even do is say that I want to dismantle all the trees up here, because that's also going to be a whole bunch of money. So let's prioritize this end of things, get a whole bunch of money, build these new kitchens, build these new canteens, and hopefully have a great time. Oh, I've just noticed that there's actually a demand right here. Reduce work to 2 hours a day or less. And I assume if this timer reaches 0 on the left side, it's going to be a riot. So we can do that. We're not actually making that much money off of work. So what we'll do is just do something like this, and then I have to keep it like that for 3 days, which is fine. I don't need to change my regime for that, and hopefully that's going to make the prisoners a bit happier. I don't really know that it will, but we will find out together, is what we'll do. I'm also wondering if expanding visitation might be an idea, because what, 10 booths for 80 prisoners? Seems a bit rough. We only have so many phone booths as well. We might want to do that. We might want to expand visitation and see if we can't maybe do something to make them a little bit happier there as well. Now, they immediately get free time in the morning, and immediately the danger level increases. Now, these guys are kind of furious because we cleaned their graffiti. These guys are getting tased down here as well. Basically, they're just miserable. I also realized that I think I did use a mutator to introduce more contraband to the prison, whilst also forgetting that one of the gangs specifically also increases the amount of contraband in the prison. So I think that's why we have so many drug problems, because essentially we've kind of doubled up on the amount of contraband that comes into the prison. It's a little bit ridiculous and a little bit silly. We also find a ridiculous number of batons and clubs during this tunnel search. Fortunately, though, no tunnels. So that's nice, at the very least. Oh, these guys down here are having some problems and have knocked 2 of my guards unconscious. So, I mean, the way I'm looking at this is quite simple. I'm just gonna send every guard that I have. Every single one is gonna come up here. No exceptions. Let's go. Everybody. Let's just beat them. Small army of guards have responded to this. And responded quite well, in fact. It was a pretty good response. That that actually worked out really, really well. So that's nice. We've got that going for us. I just canceled that build. I can't believe I just canceled that build. That's slightly annoying. Okay. Let's get that prioritized again. I think there are only certain parts that actually needed worked on. So we'll see if that works out. And then in terms of an entrance for this place, I guess what we do... Well, I guess technically we could put some doors around this. I would kind of rather... I'm going to wait until it's like completely done before I start putting doors around it so my prisoners can't escape. Because if I put a door there right now, they could just run out into the woods. And that seems like a pretty bad idea, so... We'll leave it be for the time being. I'm pretty sure there's more work needing done on this thing, so we'll leave that be. We'll get back to it, you know, once it's ready to go. As for everything else, though, I mean, let's look at the prisoners' needs again. So, there's a few that can't go to the bathroom. There's some that are sleepy. Hygiene actually seems to be a much more major problem than I had realized. And I'm not 100% sure why, because it is free time. Like, a lot of these guys could go and shower right now if they wanted to. They could go and chill if they wanted to. I almost wonder if replacing the bookshelf in their cells with a shower would be a better idea. Because I don't think they're really interested in using... Let's experiment. All right, let's do a little experiment right here. Let's go and dismantle the bookshelves in these cells, right? So dismantle those, and then what I want is a drain to go underneath these doors, and I want it to go underneath these doors as well. And then I want to go and put a shower head on all of those walls. It's not exactly a sensible setup that I'm doing here, but I want to try it. And then we go to utilities, and we go to small pipe, and we just extend the pipe a little bit for the shower head. So we'll do all of those. And I want to prioritize that, because I want to see if maybe we see all of these prisoners opt to just shower in their cells as opposed to going to the shower room or not going to the shower room, because they don't seem to go to it during free time at all. That seems to be kind of a problem. So I want to see if this fixes it. I want to see if this helps. So we'll just keep an eye on it. As for all of this, it's actually looking like it is nearly done. So I'm not convinced that we need... I'm not convinced that we need doors on this. So I guess what we'll do is... I mean, we'll go and just demolish some wall. That seems dangerous, but we'll do it. We'll give it a shot, I guess. It is sleep time, so no prisoners should be out right now. So prioritize all of that. And then down here, we are now installing things. So we'll see what happens. We'll just see what happens. So after a riot or two, numerous deaths, various escapes, and just a whole bunch of nonsense, everything is built. The floors are going in. The grass is going in. We still need to put the floors in the canteens and the kitchens, but at the very least, we're getting somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply use, I think, these white tiles for the kitchens. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And we'll do the same here as well. We can use the standard checkered floor for the kitchen itself. And we'll go up this way and do exactly the same thing. So white tiles right about there. We can do white tiles right about there. And the good old checkered floor right in the middle, just like that. So that'll all get done in time. We're going to need to bring power around here as well. So we'll start doing that because, of course, it is a bit of a necessity. So we'll run power around something like this. And at this end of things, we can also go ahead and run power around something a little bit like this as well. So that'll give us power through all that space. We are going to need power cables that run through the kitchens. I really don't want a call from the Warden right now, but all right, we'll deal with that. We'll have them run down there as well. So what do you want? The prisoners have settled down about their work hours now. I guess they saw the last few days as something of a vacation. We can put them back to work without trouble. Okay. Well, that works well for me. Let's go to regime and say they can work, they can have free time. We'll give them some free time in the middle of the day, right? They're going to work a bit less, but they also get a break in the middle of it, which I think is fair enough. And then we also need to bring water around absolutely everything as well. So let's just run these pipes the entire way up to here. We'll run them straight across, and we can run them straight down through the middle as well. Not that I think we need to do that, but at the very least, that'll give us water to the entire prison, and that's kind of what we're looking for. Oh my God, we got a bit of a tunnel going on there. All right, well, we can't be having that, so let's go ahead and just clear it out. And that'll get done in due time. It does seem like a lot of my prisoners are still relatively miserable and relatively unhappy. We really do need to do something about that, but for now, we'll sort of leave it be. They'll settle down, I think, once we get these new yards and canteens and all that good stuff in here. And there's a riot. Never mind, they're not going to settle down at all. What is wrong with all of you this time? Seriously, the only person that died during this riot, admittedly, only one death during a riot is good, was a guard. I'm getting there. I don't know where I'm getting, but I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere. Oh, now this is interesting. It seems that we have a gang that has claimed both of the common room and the gymnasium. They've also completely trashed the gym, which is going to have to be fixed once I get some money. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to put an order in to clean up that graffiti and clean up that graffiti as well. The gangs are not going to be happy about it. In fact, they're going to be completely furious about it. It might even push us into a riot. But they don't own anything, and they're not going to be allowed to own anything. It doesn't work like that. So we'll see how things go. I'm also pretty sure we just found a shotgun down here. Not sure how I feel about that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But at the very least, we'll hopefully get things cleaned up a little bit here with that shakedown. We'll get everyone into bed. We'll get everyone to calm down. And while that's going on, I'm also going to chop down some trees so I can get a little bit of money to actually finish everything, because I have decided that the yards are going to have a lot of tables, chess tables, bleachers. Going to be a lot of good stuff in these yards to hopefully keep everyone nice and happy and let them exercise and chill and do what they want to do. I also forgot to go ahead and actually make this a staff room, so let's very, very quickly go ahead and do that right there. It does need some things before it's actually going to be a staff room, but I think that's a good place for it. I think that'll be all right. And what we can do is just go and throw a couple of lights in here just to brighten it up a little bit. We'll put a light in that doorway. We'll put one, we'll put one right there as well, I guess, just to make sure that place is actually nice and bright. Now, apparently we have a prisoner here. There's no free cells for him. Interesting. Well, we'll figure that out. We have got 80 cells. I guess we've just managed to fill. So hold on a minute. What if I take, like, oh, how is this going to work? How exactly would this work? So I guess the problem is there's no free cells in an area where this guy would go, right? So there's no free cells. Why is that? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that entire space, I need to put a door on there to stop it from being, you know, used or operated by that entire gang. Okay. Objects very quickly, or rather doors very quickly. Basically, I need a large jail door right here. I'm going to need a lot more servos, is also what I'm sort of realizing. So let's come down here. Let's just sell, not sell material. What I'm looking to do is sell some objects so I can get some money. And then what I want to do is come up this way, go to doors, and essentially, yeah, we just need a large, or a couple of large jail doors. We could go like here and here if we really wanted to, but I think that's a bit unnecessary. So what I'll do instead is we'll dismantle those metal detectors. They are new, so we'll dismantle those. We'll come down to the bottom here, and we'll dismantle, not that light, but that metal detector. We'll cancel that one, so I want to prioritize it. We'll put some doors in those spaces, and that'll let us, you know, specify that this is for a specific group and whatnot. So the door goes there, and this door goes right there. We'll prioritize, and then we'll go back to objects, go to metal detector is what I'm looking for. So MET gives me metal detectors. They can go here, and they can come down and go right there as well. So we'll prioritize all of that, and it should help us to hopefully, you know, prevent stuff coming through and coming out of these specific areas as well. So that door's on there, which is good. Let's go to deployment and gangs, and we are looking for, is it the jackals? It is not the jackals. So we want to not do that. Is it the vipers? It is not the vipers. It's probably the bone breakers, because they're the ones with the bone thing. So yeah, that right there. And then the jackals are going to go right about here. Or not, because the door doesn't exist yet. So we need to prioritize. Why have a bunch of them just died? Hello? They've killed a bunch of my guard dogs as well. What the hell, man? What is that about? What are you doing? Oh, they tried to get into my power plant. I'm not happy about that. I am not happy about that at all. Give me more cat handlers, please. And give me another guard right there. I'm not happy about that. I'm about to put everyone in permanent solitary is what I'm about to do. I'm not going to stand for that right there. Now, interestingly, it kind of seems like I can't say that a yard is specifically for a gang. So I wonder I can't even do... Yeah, I can't even do... That's interesting. Now, here's... Oh, how would we handle that? I was going to say we could potentially go and say that one gang is minimum security, one is medium, one is max, and we separate them that way. But I almost wonder if just having the 5 different yards will be enough to just naturally spread people out. I don't know if they're actually going to use the yards because there isn't actually forced yard time, but we'll see what happens, I guess. I don't know how I feel about the fact that I can't actually assign yards. That's a little bit weird. It'd be nice if I could. Can people stop dying? What is wrong with all of you? Starve to death? That seems like a personal problem. All right? That seems like a personal problem. How are you starving? We have so much food. What do you mean you're starving to death? How have 10 of you died today? Why am I so bad at this game? What is this? What's even going on, man? I don't know. I want to sell all of this. I want to sell all of this, and I'm going to sell all of this. And you know what? I'm going to sell all of this, too. I need some money, all right? I need money. As for the canteens and all that stuff, we need a serving table. Wait, there's a small serving? I didn't even realize there was a small serving table. What? Oh, all right. That's news to me. So canteen, serving table. I kind of like the idea of just having 2 large ones anyway, because I can. And then for tables, we can sort of go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we could probably do like 1 in the middle, but I don't know that we want to do that. What if I did this instead? Is that better? That might be, but it's not really spaced out right. I guess we'll just go for small canteens here and see what happens. We can do a small table in the middle. And again, we'll sort of see what happens there. These actually need spaced out better. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. So that goes there, and then the table goes here and here, and our benches go like this, which does leave a little bit of room. There is room there, even if it doesn't look like it. I feel like I've just selected tables, didn't I? Oh God, what am I supposed to be doing here? Right, bench, and benches go like this, and benches go like this, and then the small benches go like... Ooh, wait a minute. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. I guess that'll be okay. So basically, we want to mirror that. And honestly, the easiest way to do it might be prioritize building. And also, we probably want to prioritize putting some lights in there. So we'll do this, 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 and that should be fine. We'll just, I guess, build everything out and then copy and paste it down to the lower part of the prison. That seems like the easiest way to do this. And just like that, we've managed to get everything set up. We have our new canteens and we have our new kitchens. So what I'm going to do is go to staff, and I'm going to go to something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to like 14 cooks. It's a ridiculous number, but it's hopefully going to let us really nicely staff everything. And my hope is that I can maybe just have things go a little bit better. In fact, what I would kind of like to do is almost go to deployment and say that this is now a staff-only kitchen and canteen right in the middle of the prison, because we no longer need this particular kitchen canteen combo. We have the ability to, you know, send everyone to the different, you know, kitchens and canteens. Food distribution, I mean, demand is 30 right there. We have a lot of these guys kind of going to the various different places, so we'll see what happens there. Hopefully, we can see some good things. Hopefully, this all works out. Crop distribution. I would very much like to go ahead and include these two, those 2 kitchens there, and I'd like to do the same for this one as well, so that's all connected. So we're gonna be, you know, shipping crops around the entire prison. That's all right. I just want to see if this works. That's kind of where I'm at. So we should have prisoners sort of coming around. They'll, you know, they have their free time. They're not very happy about the tunnel searches, which honestly, I think the tunnel searches, let's stop it. Let's go to custom schedule. We're looking for all sectors. Let's change it to every 3 days. And what we'll do is move it to like noon. So the prisoners aren't actually going to be in their cells. Oh, for God's sake. The prisoners aren't actually going to be in their cells when they get searched. And a guard's dead. Seriously? Alright, well. All I'm interested in right now, for God, you guys have been awake for 5 minutes! You have been awake for 5 minutes and you've killed someone already! How? What is wrong with you? Like, what are you unhappy about? You've been tased. Is that it? That's what you're unhappy about? You got tased. I guess that's the only status effect that I can see. It just makes me angry. Makes me angry. I'm sick of them. I'm absolutely sick of them. Now, I realize I've set up my new schedule and whatnot without actually placing any form of guard deployment into the prison. So let's see if we can't do something about that. For example, I don't think we need this patrol in here anymore. What we do need is a pretty solid guard presence in this space. And we'll go back and forth a bit like this. We'll do the same thing over here as well. So a nice sort of solid guard presence in that space as well. And what we'll do is we'll assign 4 guards and 4 guards. And I'm going to assign a single armed guard to each of those as well. And then we do exactly the same thing down here. We go across like so, across like this, down and down. Now we want to do the same down, across, and up. And basically, we want to go in with 4 guards and 4 guards with a single armed guard in each. And that should keep them pretty good. We should see the guards coming over. Obviously, we don't have servos and a lot of this stuff right now, so that is a bit of an issue. But I'm hopeful that we can actually feed the prisoners relatively well based on the fact that we have 4 canteens. Now, admittedly, there's only going to be 4 cooks per room there, but I think we did only have 4 in here as well, so we'll see what happens. I don't think we managed to feed everybody, but at the very least, no one murdered anyone in the canteen, so that's actually the first, well, you tried. It's the first time in a while someone hasn't been brutally murdered in a canteen. So I'll take it. That's not too bad. That's better than what we've had thus far. Now, one thing I am going to do here is I'm actually going to just take out another hour of work and put some mandatory yard time right in the middle of the day there so that we actually get these yards used and we can potentially have our prisoners come in here and go for a bit of a jog around the yard. And maybe that'll just burn off some energy and get them to chill out a little bit. I doubt it. I do doubt it. I really think they're just going to keep murdering each other every chance they get. Especially since these yards are not actually, you know, set aside for specific groups of prisoners. We are going to have some issues. And I think that's maybe where I'm faltering a little bit, is that maybe I should, you know, instead of doing things like the way I'm doing it, I might want to save a bunch of money. And by save a bunch of money, I mean chop down every single tree. And I might just want to go ahead and build a completely new prison, essentially. I might want to just go and be like, all right, let's, instead of doing this madness that I've been doing so far, why don't I instead go and build a minimum security, a medium, a maximum, a supermax. And that way the people that keep killing other prisoners can eventually go into like supermax and it'll just be supermax prisoners in that one space. That might be the way to do it. That might be the better idea here because it really might solve a lot of the issues that we seem to be having. So, what do you want, Mayor? The media have started a campaign over the amenities granted to prisoners and it's bringing a lot of heat to my office. I'm passing a bill which bans exercise equipment in prison yards, so I need you to remove all weights benches from your yards or you will be fined. You have 6 hours. Really? That seems unnecessary, but I mean, yeah, I only have a couple. I don't have too many, so we'll dismantle those and we'll prioritize it and we'll see what happens. Shouldn't be too difficult. That's all of them, right? I don't have weights benches in the rest of my yards. Yeah, there we go. So we're good. And then a bit of mandatory yard time. We have these guys kind of going around. They're doing their thing. They're still pretty annoyed. But that's gonna be the way of it. At least, at the very least, what I'm noticing is that with the 4 yards, we have actually managed to split them up. We have some prisoners here, we have some up here, we have some there. So they're not all gonna be in exactly the same yard every single time, and I think that's probably the right way to do it. I don't mind that too much. I think that's pretty good. I'm also thinking that the metal detectors are getting plenty of them as well, so that's nice. And also a gang has claimed this field. I've just noticed that there is actually graffiti in the middle of that field. Let's mark that for cleanup, please, because that's, nah. Y'all are not keeping that. That is not how that works. I'll tell you right now. You know, I'm also realizing that we can probably increase punishments a little bit. So if you're gonna murder someone, I'm just gonna bring that up to like 2 days in solitary. Or I could go up to like 3 days in solitary if I really wanted to, which, to be quite honest, I think it's fair enough. It might be a way to discourage, you know, murdering people. So we'll give that a shot. 72 hours in solitary for murder. If we find weapons, you're getting solitary, and you're going to get it for 6 hours now. Tools will be a lockdown. Drugs is going to be a 4-hour solitary, and producing narcotics will be like, I don't know, 24 hours. I don't know if we've caught anyone producing anything right now, but we'll give that a shot. Destruction of property, I'm going to bring that up to like a, I don't know, a 12-hour lockdown is probably fair enough. An escape attempt is whatever. And then let's see, attacked staff. You know what? I'm gonna like, we're not gonna increase anything, but if they attack prisoners or staff, we'll search the cell and the person. Serious injury is gonna be a search. Intoxication is gonna be a search. In fact, everything is gonna be just, if they do anything, they're gonna be searched, right? I think that's kind of the way to go. If you attack staff, you're immediately gonna get like a 24-hour in solitary. That'll hopefully, you know, I don't think this is gonna stop them doing any of this. I think all this is gonna do is potentially give us a massive backlog of solitary confinement situations. Intoxication, I'm just gonna put you in lockup for like 6 hours. I don't think that's the end of the world. Murder, of course, is. Weapons, sure. Tools. Yeah, tools can be a lockdown as well. That seems fine. So that's a good list of punishments is what I'm thinking right there. So that'll work out. And then ingredients. Interesting. Fresh/imported ingredient usage ratio. I don't know what this necessarily changes, to be quite honest, but I guess crops per day is 10, 100. Okay, so imported ingredients cost that. I think we have a good amount of fresh ingredients. I'd kind of like to lean towards using more of those, because I think we're growing a really good amount of them. So we'll give that a shot and see what happens. And hopefully these extra punishments will actually help a little bit. Hopefully that'll discourage people from, you know, murder. Like I said, I doubt it, but I can hope. That's what I've got at this point. That's about all I've got for this prison, is the hope that anything I do might help, even though it almost never does. You know, I was about to wrap up the video, and then I remembered that I hadn't actually gone ahead and built the staff room. So now we have that. We have somewhere for my staff to go and chill in the middle of the prison that isn't across the entire prison. Hopefully that's going to mean that staff morale comes up a little bit, because it definitely wasn't all that good. I'm also keenly aware of the fact that my prisoners are still not all that thrilled. My staff are all right. Now, I do think adding some extra bathrooms for staff over in this side of the prison might be a good idea, but my staff are generally okay. I'm also wondering if I could get a cheeky little like bathroom down here or something like that. I probably could throw like a little toilet in there, but we'll hold off for now and see if maybe that is something we want to do. It's probably going to be necessary. But regardless, my staff are generally all right. My prisoners, on the other hand, their hygiene never seems to get all that good. Their exercise is never all that good. Family and recreation is not all that good either. Despite the fact that they do have phone booths, they do have visitation, they do have a mail room, which I don't think anyone actually works in, which is a bit weird. But we do have all of that. I don't know, it doesn't seem like anything's going too well for me. I'm also, we do still have a confidential informant. Let's activate you. Let's see what you're up to. What do you want? Gangs are getting too aggressive and are planning to assassinate the other gang's leader. If they're successful, it'll affect their current territories. I don't know that I care about that. I've got to be honest. I feel like if anything, really, it's maybe a good thing. I mean, it's not a good thing, but you can maybe see how it could potentially be a good thing if it, like, knocks the other gangs down a little bit. So, well, it doesn't seem like he's dead. So that's nice. He actually seems to have been able to take out 2 of the other gang members, so, I mean, look, I'm not condoning the violence, but it's like, if you want to try and take out the other gang's leader, I mean, good luck to you. If it doesn't go to plan and 2 of your boys get got, then, I mean, you get good, I guess. That's about all I got. Get good. It's that simple. Better luck next time. Mission failed. Wait, no, that's the other way around. Mission failed. Better luck next time.